In 2008, Elon Musk was broke, not struggling a little broke, genuinely, completely, out of money broke. He had poured every dollar he had, every single cent from selling PayPal, into two companies, and both were on the verge of collapse. His marriage had just ended. He was sleeping on friends' couches. He told a close friend he couldn't even afford rent. Most people would have walked away. He didn't. And that one decision, to keep going when every rational person would have stopped, is the reason Elon Musk became the richest human being in the history of the world. This is that story. When eBay bought PayPal in 2002, Elon Musk walked away with $180 million at 31 years old. Most people in that position retire, buy a mansion, maybe start a small fund. Elon did something that stunned everyone who knew him. He took nearly all of it and split it between two completely insane ideas. $100 million went into SpaceX, a rocket company. At a time when rockets were something only governments could build, $70 million went into Tesla, an electric car company. At a time when nobody believed electric cars could compete with gas. His own friends begged him not to do it. His financial advisors told him he was throwing his money away. Even other Silicon Valley investors, people who bet on long shots for a living, thought he'd lost his mind. But Elon had done the math, and the math told him electric vehicles were the future. The math told him private space travel was inevitable. The problem was the math doesn't pay the bills while you're waiting for the future to arrive. By 2008, things had gone catastrophically wrong. SpaceX had launched its Falcon 1 rocket 3 times. It exploded. All 3 times. Each failure cost millions of dollars. Elon didn't really have any more. Tesla, meanwhile, was burning through cash building the Roadster. Production was delayed. Costs ballooned. The 2008 financial crisis had just hit, and investors were running away from anything that looked risky. Elon later admitted he was having panic attacks. He couldn't sleep. He was funding both companies out of his own pocket, borrowing money from friends just to make payroll. At one point, he had to choose: save SpaceX or save Tesla. He didn't have enough money for both. He chose both anyway. He split his last $20 million between the two companies. $20 million. Between two companies that the entire world had written off as dead. This is the moment that changed everything. Because in December 2008, with weeks of cash left in the bank, two things happened almost simultaneously. SpaceX successfully launched Falcon 1, the first privately built liquid-fueled rocket ever to reach orbit, and NASA called. They offered SpaceX a $1.6 billion contract. Days later, Tesla closed a critical funding round, barely surviving what would have been a complete shutdown. Both companies lived by the skin of their teeth. What happened next is one of the most remarkable wealth creations in human history. Tesla went from nearly bankrupt to the most valuable car company on the planet. Not just beating Ford, not just beating GM. Tesla eventually became worth more than Toyota, Volkswagen, Ford, and GM combined. In 2019, Tesla stock was around $25 a share. By 2021, it hit over $400. Elon owned roughly 20% of the company. Do the math. And SpaceX? It's now valued at over $200 billion, the most valuable private company in the world. Governments pay SpaceX to launch satellites. NASA pays SpaceX to carry astronauts to the International Space Station. The kid who was sleeping on friends' couches in 2008 is now worth hundreds of billions of dollars. But here's what the headlines never tell you. The money was never the goal. Elon Musk has said repeatedly he didn't build Tesla to get rich. He built it because he genuinely believed the world needed to move away from fossil fuels. He didn't build SpaceX to become a billionaire. He built it because he believes humanity needs to become a multi-planetary species to survive. The wealth was a side effect of being completely, obsessively committed to a mission, even when the whole world told him he was wrong. That's the real story, not the billions, the belief, the decision to keep going in December 2008 when he had nothing left. That's the decision that changed history. So the next time someone tells you your idea is crazy, maybe that's exactly the point. If this story hit different, you're going to love what's coming next on this channel. Every week we break down the real stories behind money, power, and the decisions that changed the world. Subscribe so you don't miss it, and drop a comment below. What decision in your own life do you think could change everything? I'll see you in the next one.